guys, so today I'm here to do my top 5 Tuesday video, and today's themed is underhyped books. So last week I did overhyped and this week is underhyped. Again, for me, I see this as books that I just really enjoy and think deserve a lot of hype, and they don't. And these are also books that I feel like people don't necessarily actually like, and I don't understand it because they're actually so good. So these are the top 5 books that I just think deserve more love and care and should not be pushed to the side. So number 5 on my list is The Selection by Kira Cass, and pretty much the whole series. Like, so many people don't want to read these books anymore because like they had the first 3 and then the next 2 came out, which are 20 years later, with the daughter from the first series. Like, these books really don't get enough love. Like, I know it's a bit of a weird thing having this whole idea of The Selection where it's like The Bachelorette, but like literally I live for the idea of this book. It is so funny. I really enjoyed the characters and I really loved the plot, and just the whole idea of it was always really like interesting and fun for me. And I hate it when people like hate on The Selection because I'm just like, no, it's not very nice. This book should have more loving hype, not like depressing hype. Number 4 on my list is Tell the Wind and Fire by Sarah Reese Brennan. I don't understand why people don't like this book. Like, literally, I loved it. It was in my top like 15 of last year, and people just like bash it really, and it's not fun. I think this book deserves more hype because I thought it was an amazing retelling. It had a really good story element plot, and it stuck to the retelling. Like, so many people are annoyed because what happens at the end of Tales Two Cities happens in this book, and it's not, you know, pleasant, but I think this book definitely deserves more hype. And like, everyone reads sad books with sad endings all the time. I don't understand why people won't even check this one out because they assume it's going to be really bad, but it's just, I really love this book and it's so good. Number 3 on my list is The Winner's Curse by Maria Rotosky. This one gets underhyped because a lot of people go into this expecting this really kick-ass person who knows how to fight and just having a lot of action, but it's not that. This book is a very political book, and the main character really isn't a fighter. Like, Kestrel really doesn't fight her way out of things. She fights in the way of using her words. Like, she's really smart and just knows how to like handle situations, but she just doesn't fight physically. And people go into this thinking she's going to be so like kick butt, and that's why they like don't want to read it, or it's underhyped for some people. But this book and the series is actually so good. Like, it's got a really good political aspect to it, and it's really interesting and like really easy to understand. And I just hate it when people bash it, saying like, oh, it's not cool because she's not kick butt, and I'm just like, have you even read the book? Of course she is. Literally, it's more like underhyped books that people actually don't like should be my tag here, but like literally it just annoys me that people don't like this as much. Number 2 on my list is Lady Helen and the Dark Days Club by Alison Goodman. I loved this book. I feel like a reason this book can get underhyped, especially in Australia, is this cover is just awful. I have to say, it's awful. I feel like people don't want to check out this book because it just kind of doesn't look very appealing. Like, when I first bought it, I was thinking, oh, what is this? But then I was like, no, you're going to read it, you're going to stick it out, and it might be a bit hard to get into, but literally, this book is so good. And this book literally is such a cool, like, demon story, and I loved it so much. And what it reminds me of, and where it should be up with, is the Infernal Devices. Like, if you loved the Infernal Devices, you will love this book. Like, it has the same elements, I feel like, even though it's not Shadowhunters, it needs to be up there. Like, I know people do talk about this one. This one isn't as like hated as some of the books that are on my list, but still I feel like this needs more hype because it's actually so good. And I have the second book sitting over there and I really want to read it, just I haven't had the chance to. So I haven't even read the sequel yet, but I just know these books need more hype and need people to be screaming about them and talking about them, so that's why I'm talking about it here. And number 1 on my list is the Touch of Power series by Marie V. Schneider. This book is so underhyped because everyone loves Poison Study, right? It's Poison Study is the one that everyone's talking about, and then people give Touch of Power a go and they feel like it's overhyped and it's not as good. That's what I hate about it. People just compare it to Poison Study and they're really not alike. Like, there's a few elements that are similar, but that's just because it's the same writer for both series. But like, this book is just amazing on its own without the taint of Poison Study. Like, I really liked Poison Study, but they're equal to me, so I love both of them. But just, I hate that people don't give this the time of day because this book was so good and it really needs to have more of that hype, because I just don't understand why you have to do this to yourselves, people who have only read Poison Study. Like, literally, if you haven't read Poison Study, read Touch of Power first. please. Then you're not like tainted by the fact that you've already read Poison Study. So if you just go into this one only having read this book first, it would be so much better. But it just pisses me off that people are always like, it's not as good. And I'm just like, I don't care. You need to help me hype this book up because it is actually amazing on its own. So these are the 5 books that I think are underhyped and should all get more love. Like, some of my favorites are in this pile. So people, get your shit together and start reading these books and actually, you know, being happy about them. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video and I'll see you later. Bye!